Look, everybody talks about AI and the S&P 500, but you're looking at the wrong map. If you want to know where the next massive wealth explosion is coming from, look east. We are witnessing a once-in-a-century shift in the global economy right now. Most American investors are completely missing it because they are distracted by hype. For 20 years, two types of growth have been fighting for global dominance. In the United States, we've had what economists call Schumpeterian growth. That's growth driven by pure invention and constant disruption. But this model also causes a lot of social pain. It moves so fast that it leaves millions of people behind in the old economy. Now, on the other side of the world, in China and India, they are using a totally different model called Ricardian growth. This is the growth of infrastructure. It's about building roads, high-speed rail, and airports to connect the entire population together. This model lifts the standard of living for everyone at once. When you build a bridge, every local business benefits from it immediately. Right now, India is building 40 new airports. Do you know how many are being built in the US? Basically zero. We are stagnating. The East has spent the last decade building the physical foundation for a massive boom while we were busy updating our software. For a long time, the US market was the place to be because tech was cheap to scale, but AI is changing the rules of the game. AI requires gargantuan amounts of capital and energy. It's becoming more like the old steel industry than the early days of the web. We're just a bunch of glorified data entry monkeys. This means profit margins might not be what people expect. Meanwhile, the East is ready to explode with real physical productivity. There is another major factor: the death of the dollar's monopoly. This is a massive earthquake for every American investor. For decades, every country in Asia had to use US dollars to trade. If Thailand wanted to buy from Indonesia, they needed our currency. That era is over. Central banks are moving toward swap agreements. They are trading in their own national currencies now. They don't need a reserve currency like they used to. The system built after World War II is being dismantled right in front of us. The world is currently drowning in dollars that nobody wants, which is why we see gold hitting all-time records every single week. But here is the secret. When everyone is terrified and hiding in gold, the real productive assets in the East become incredibly cheap. But here is the secret. When everyone is terrified and hiding in gold, the real productive assets in the East become incredibly cheap. Most American managers are crowded into the same 5 tech stocks. Almost nobody in the West owns the future of the East yet. That is a massive valuation gap. India is positioned to dominate the software industry for the next several decades. They have the talent, the youth, and now they finally have the infrastructure. The barriers that held them back are simply gone. This isn't a short-term trend. It's a return to the natural state of global trade. The East is reclaiming its historical position. We are entering a period where the East will see the same explosive growth the US saw during the post-war miracle years. We are entering a period where the East will see the same explosive growth the US saw during the post-war miracle years. Look at where real physical growth is happening. Look at the countries that are actually building for their future today. The smart money is already moving. Don't be the one left holding a bag of depreciating currency while others build a new age. Diversify into the Asian miracle before the rest of the market wakes up. The window of opportunity is closing fast. Remember, in the 1950s, America was the land of the future. Today, that energy has moved across the Pacific. If you want to understand the new world order, you have to follow the energy. And that energy is building roads in Asia. Most people wait for the news to tell them what to do. By then, the big gains are already gone. Be early, be smart. Think about the middle class. In Asia, it is exploding. Hundreds of millions of new consumers are entering the market. These people are buying their first cars, their first homes, and their first investment accounts. That is real demand. Compare that to the West, where most people are struggling with debt and inflation. The contrast couldn't be more clear. This is why capital is moving. Capital always goes where it is treated best and where it can grow the fastest. If you are only invested in the US, you are betting on a system that is currently devaluing its own currency to survive. Come on, don't go down! Diversification isn't just a buzzword. In this decade, it is a survival strategy for your retirement and your family. Look at the manufacturing power of China. They have the supply chains that the rest of the world depends on. They are no longer just the factory of the world. They are becoming the laboratory of the world with high-tech exports. And India is right behind them, with a young population that is hungry for success and highly educated in tech. We are seeing a shift in global power that hasn't happened since the end of the British Empire. Don't ignore history. The smart move is to have a foot in both worlds. Keep your US exposure, but build a bridge to the Asian boom. This is how you win in the 21st century. You adapt to the reality of the market, not the stories on the news. Start small if you have to. Research Asian ETFs or look at major Indian tech companies. Knowledge is your first investment. The next 10 years will be defined by who owns the infrastructure of the East. Make sure you are on that list. Don't let fear or loyalty to an old system keep you from the greatest wealth transfer in human history. The opportunity is here. The growth is real. The only question is, are you going to participate or just watch? Every time a new airport opens in India, a new door opens for an investor who was brave enough to look east. We are living in a time of change. Embrace it. The Asian miracle is just getting started, and you can be part of it. If you want to stay ahead of the curve, make sure you are getting the right information. Subscribe to this channel right now. We go deep into these global shifts every week to make sure you never miss a beat in this crazy economy. Hit that like button if this video gave you a new perspective on where the world is heading. It really helps. And tell me in the comments, are you looking at Asia yet? Or are you still betting 1% on the US tech giants? I read all your comments, and I want to know your strategy for the coming decade. Let's build wealth together. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified. The next video is going to be even bigger. Stay sharp. Take care of your investments and keep your eyes on the horizon. The East is rising, and so can your portfolio.